Anyways, so we're going to talk about the things that's keeping you down spiritually, killing you spiritually. My wife's had this on her heart a lot lately, and I don't know if you want to share the testimony specifically that you were sharing with me last night in context of it all or not. But yeah, anyways, I'll let you go with what you were saying.
Like with my mom?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my mom has been reading like crazy. And I mean, like, she's already read the New Testament in a matter of like weeks.
Wow.
I mean, she's killing it, crushing it. And in the midst of her reading like a madman, or maybe like you should.
Yeah, right.
Her faith has increased like I've never seen before. And it's like convicted me and challenged me because I'm reading, but I'm not reading as much as her. Like, and I'm comparing, but this is like a healthy comparing because it's challenging me. It's pushing me. And when I see her faith and how much she has felt so secure in her relationship with Jesus just from reading, I'm like, man, I want that. Like, I want that too. And so it's pushed me to start reading. And then I see like, oh my gosh, like, why are people not reading?
Right. Did she have something where she got like super on fire because she went to a conference? Did she get prayed over? Was it in a specific worship service that something happened and this all exploded? Or was it just from the good old boring reading?
I think we have had quite a bit of conversations and me encouraging and exhorting her. And honestly, I would say, number one, her perseverance. She has persevered so much. And two, she actually just took what I said and did something with it. That's the thing with my mom is you tell her something and she does something with it. I think that's why a lot of Christians don't see results because it's going in one ear and out the other. And
specifically on things like these YouTube videos, right? It's very, very, very easy to consume things and become extremely spiritually fat. And I think this, even I've said this a lot, but I think even more so with the TikTok type stuff. I personally consume TikTok style 30-second snippet content extremely well. I could like, and I don't watch TikToks. I've said that a lot on here. I don't watch short form content like that. But if you gave me a day to listen to nothing but, everybody who I would otherwise listen to anyways, and just soak in everything from them in short form content, I would save hours of watching that I would have otherwise done. I would have done hours and hours of watching videos when they could have condensed that into a 30-second snippet. And I personally would learn so much from doing that, and it would help me so much in my faith. It would be awesome. Most people aren't like that though. Most people, it's like you taking on that much at one time becomes mush in your brain and you don't do anything with it. And Jesus is going to judge you for the things that you know and the things that you've been stewarded over. And if you don't know what you're talking about, or let me phrase it, if you don't live out what you've been taught through these things, then you're going to be in a worse place than if you just didn't know them in the first place. It's not a healthy place to be at, but most people are in that place where it's like they keep consuming content and not doing anything with it. Even in longer form YouTube videos, it's very easy to just listen to something and just for another thing to fill that void of time in your life and then be like, oh yes, I gained another nugget of information. And then you still do nothing at all with it. It's like, that's like one of the worst places to be. But the reason that I asked her that question in regards to what did it look like? Did she have some sort of supernatural? Was she prayed over? Did somebody impart something to her or something like that? Is because I knew that wouldn't be the answer. Not because it can't ever be the answer, but I know that majority of the time it is not the answer. That somebody doesn't just pray something into you, pray something over you, and then voila, the next day you look just like Jesus. Instead, it's generally this thing where it's the not fun answer. It's the, I think of like when people try to, get rich in these like get rich quick things, and they want to put money into crypto and see it 1,000,000x overnight, and they become a millionaire by putting $100 in. It's like, it's not that doesn't ever happen. It can happen, but it is very rare that something like that happens. And then when you see something like that on social media, then you see this one guy who's now the Bitcoin trillionaire, and it's like, whoa, chill for a second. Like, the probability of that being you is so extremely unlikely. And for us to expect and bank on something like that happening is really, really unhealthy. Understand that a lot of times you just use this one really, really unattractive word, perseverance. That is not fun to hear. That's the last thing I want to hear when you're going to tell me how to get something spiritually. Because when I think of spiritual things, I think supernatural. Like, you're just going to pray it into me. I'm just going to pray, God, just make me on fire for your word and change my heart in every aspect of it. And then he just does it. And he's like, I gave you my word. Read it, and you'll actually watch this thing happen in your life. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to add to that. Yeah, I guess outside of that, like, Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for their lack of knowledge. And the reason that's important is because when we as Christians don't know something, like there's so many people who I see and they'll come up to me and say, hey, I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z. What do I do to get free from this? And it's like, if you would have just known the word, you wouldn't have a problem with it anyways. But the issue is you don't know. You don't even know the truth on it. So therefore, you're stuck in bondage. Like Jesus says, you'll know the truth and the truth will set you free. Well, if you don't know the truth, you're not set free. You're held in bondage. And you can know the truth about salvation, so you're free in the salvation sense. But you can be born again and saved and still be in this place where you're in chains. And it's like the way to get free from that bondage is you just having knowledge. And I know when I say that, a lot of people are going to get overwhelmed by that and be like, oh my gosh, so now I have to read a 1,000-page book overnight just to be able to get all this context. No, that's not it. The majority of what you need to know anyways is going to be found in your New Testament, which is like 1/5 of your Bible maybe or something like that. And if you know that, you're good. You're in good shape. All you need to do is consume that, learn that, read like a chapter a day. Generally, that gives you everything that you need to be able to apply something to that.